YouTube vinyl community, Black Keys fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about the Black Keys' second album, Thick Freakness, released on Fat Possum Records in 2002, produced by drummer Patrick Carney. Now, it's easy to say for the majority of the early Black Keys albums to be like, they sound like the White Stripes, it's the same thing. But they're not. They're very different, and they're different for a lot of reasons. Um, Particularly in the style of Dan's singing and guitar playing and the way that Patrick accents that with his drums. It's a whole different animal. It's easy to be like, well, they make blues-based rock and roll that sounds gritty and fuzzy, and they sing about heartbreak and stuff, and so do the White Stripes. Yes, true, but there's differences. And I'd like to point them out with this review. So get comfy, here we go. The first song on this album, Thick Freakness, opens with this sort of like Americana barroom blues vibe, which again, different from the White Stripes. The White Stripes for me were always, and they're one of my favorite bands, they have a different approach to their blues sound. I feel like with the Black Keys, you're getting more of a barroom brawl type of vibe from these guys. But, you know, you start off the album with Dan's really mature, sometimes gruff vocals, really impassioned vocals. The elaborate guitar, the cymbals that splash at just the right times. You know, they really know how to play off each other and fill in the void, being just a duo, just the two of them. So to be able to work in that setting and have it sound fresh and interesting on each song, I think it says something. But yeah, it's got this kind of raw jam feel to this thing, and I love the slow, woozy guitar solo that bleeds in and out of this thing in the middle of the song, and just a fun way to open this LP. Hard Row is the second song, and I like this angry Kinks riff that this thing sounds like. It's pretty fun. But it sounds like if the Kinks grew up like hopping trains in the 30s in America. It's got that, again, that Americana vibe, but with that Southern blues feel influence going on. Really carefree vibe on this one. I like the young spirit of this track. You can tell that they were in their early 20s. It's just got this reckless abandon kind of feel to it, and really enjoy that. The descending riffs that lead into the solo are fun. There's like a Hendrix-style effects pedal happening at that time, and I just love the energy on this track. This whole album is full of good energy. Set You Free, I think, was actually a single from this thing, but it's a song about the girl he wants to be with, and this girl has to figure out if she wants to stick with her doofus boyfriend. And this guy's, like, you know what, I'll be really good for you. Come to me, I'm going to set you free. Then rips into a guitar solo. I mean, that's how you do it. I really love the echo effect on the drums at the end of this song. Really cool. Midnight in Her Eyes. Apparently this was the only song on the album that has bass on it, which I thought was cool. Dan played an SG-styled bass guitar to put a bass line down. And I really love the dry riffing over this thing, the really smooth 4/4 drum beat that's happening. For me, you're only 4 songs in, but I'm always surprised how many riffs that they can come up with. And yeah, some of them do sound the same, but a lot of them have just enough differences to get stuck in your head. Which, again, I think that's a testament to cool songwriting. Really love the long amber hair calling out my name. I'm calling just the same line, and then into another solo. They're really cool at writing fun lyrics that jump into a solo. I like that energy. Have Love Will Travel. This is a song that was actually one of the more famous versions was by the Sonics, but the guy who wrote it, Richard Berry, also wrote Louie Louie. So there, the more you know. And I love this. I love this song. I think that this is a perfect cover for this album because this album explores themes of loneliness, wanting to be with somebody, watching the girl you want to be with be stuck with some idiot guy, and you know that you'd be better for her. So this lyrically blends right in. And really spirited, lively track. I really love Dan's sometimes gruff vocals going on in this thing. Which I think is cool because you jump to the next song, Hurt Like Mine, and this is one of the most like vulnerable lyrics so far. It's pretty short, simple set of lyrics, but they really have a bleak disposition, and they don't paint a picture of hope or optimism. It's just kind of like this dry, dreary kind of mentality. But I do get a slight Stones feel on this one. Something off of maybe Exile or Sticky Fingers around that time. And yeah, cool song. Cool song, man. Everywhere I Go, track 7 on this thing, is a Junior Kimbrough song, who's an old blues guy. And I really do enjoy this cover as well. I think because they later would go on to do an entire tribute album to him, playing his songs. And it's got a really like pensive sounding tone. It's one of the longer songs on this album, and it kind of lets them expand a little bit and develop inside the song itself as they were recording. But I love the tenderness in the guitar here. I love the heartbeat of the drums. It keeps the rhythm going really well, and creates a mood that doesn't really exist elsewhere on the album besides the last song. But I kind of like the mood and the vibe, the tension that they build with this one. No Trust, track 8 on this thing. This is a song about the girl who's had enough of this guy, the main character guy, and the guy's trying to see the conversation and point of view through his girl's eyes, and realizing like, hey, maybe I kind of messed up, or maybe I need to reassess what's happening here. And I like that imagery, that storytelling mentality. Really short stabs of the guitar lead into this like really head shaking rhythm, and heartbeat racing kind of drums propulse throughout the whole thing. Good vibe on this one. Really cool song. If You See Me, track 9 on this thing. Lyrically, it's like a little lacking. It's, I mean, you get what you get with blues songs. Sometimes they're very simple lyrics that kind of repeat the same phrase over and over again. But this one for me was just a little bit on the elementary side, and I hate to use that term because it sounds slightly negative, but kind of simple lyrics on this one. It's also probably the most blues type song on this thing. It's quote unquote straightforward. It sounds like a blues song in the conventional sense without the tinge of the Black Keys taste on it. Taste? Feel? Vibe? Let's go with taste. That's a weird word. Let's use that one. Hold Me in Your Arms. This one for me, I love this one. I love the lyrics on this one. It's a song about wanting to be with someone special, and it's a more direct approach. It's not being veiled in some sort of metaphor or some sort of ambiguity. It's just like laying it out on the table all to bear, and I like that. I really like the Delta blues style guitar solo on this thing. It's got that slide thing happening all throughout the song, and it's probably the more honest and more straightforward Desire type songs on this album. When you get to the last song, I Cry Alone, and I really enjoyed this one too. It's, you know, the guy can't let this girl go, but he doesn't know why, or he let her go, but doesn't know why, and is trying to figure out maybe the end of a relationship, or a riff, or a fight, or an argument, and it's got this like quiet nighttime feel, and for me, this song is like the musical manifestation of Moonlight. Like if Moonlight can be put into music, this is what it would sound like on I Cry Alone. Really stark, really articulate, really bare and honest, and I think it's a great closer to this album. It's overall a great way to kind of sum up the feeling and kind of have like the cool down at the end. But yeah, it's the back cover, and I'll show you what the inside looks like. The jacket's cool, just simple white on one side, and then a nice picture of the guys from back in the day, back in the early 2000s here. So yeah, this was produced by Patrick Carney, the drummer of the band, and they recorded it in, like, I think his basement over the course of a 14-hour session, I believe. They used their advance money from Fat Possum Records to pay their rent. So instead of going to a studio and having this done professionally, they set up a Tascam, and Patrick recorded this as what he calls middle fidelity or something like that. Instead of low fidelity, it's like medium fidelity. Which is pretty funny. So that's why it's got this like really loose garage rock 60s feel to it, mixed with that blues tinge, mixed with that southern blues feel, mixed with a real hungry desire to make cool, fresh sounding rock and roll with a blues tint. And that's where I think they're different from the White Stripes. Again, it's so easy to throw these two bands together, and there are comparisons for sure. Yeah, totally. But there are big differences, especially in terms of the way they play, their lyrical ideas, and all that kind of stuff. I love this album. I think it's a really great album. I'd probably give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think Rubber Factory might be my favorite one by them, and Brothers is also an excellent album too. But this is cool to see where they were at so early in their career, building songs together, jamming together, starting to play shows, and figure out how to do this as a band. So yeah. I really enjoy this. I mean, now they're one of the biggest alt-rock bands out there, but at this time, I mean, for a long time, they were like kind of an underground sort of thing. Just the two of them. So, yeah, Black Keys, Thick Freakness on Fat Possum Records. I'm going to go with a 7. or 8. 7.5 on this one. The only reason why I wouldn't give it a higher score is because you kind of get the point by the end of this album. Like, the songs do kind of blend a little bit with each other. Even though there are differences in each song and the way they play and the way they're presented, there's a vibe that stays that you kind of get like, alright, I think we're good. But then, like, after a while, you're like, you know what, I want to jump in there again. So, 8. Let's do 8. 8 out of 10. My name is Giggens. This has been Album Reviews with me, Giggens, and the Black Keys, Thick Freakness. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.